Good evening, all. It's Superfan Dan from California. Evening to all of you in Geordieland and otherwise northern regions. Welcome to tonight's Geordies versus Mackems. Let me get over here to the comments here. Welcome back to Mackem Cabby and all of his friends. We'll have them on in just a minute. Please like, share, subscribe, and hype when the video is over and posted to promote the channel. It's all free, and it really does help the channel. You can also join through Black and White Eyes with a membership for as little as 99p a month and become a member, and that way you can also participate in giveaways and that kind of stuff. Or you can donate using the super chat function down there in the bottom corner. Please adhere to standard community guidelines, keep comments respectful, and of course, enjoy the show. Evening, everyone. Let's bring people in. There's Stu. Hello, Stu.
Hello, how you doing? You all right, mate? How's things?
I'm good. Mackem Cabby in the house. Let's bring in his good friend, Rob. Hello, Rob.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Dan. Stuart.
He of the hanging sector.
Good, mate. No, that's the Yamaha. That one.
That's the Yamaha, but it hasn't been put away yet.
The Schecter's
there it is. All right, and let's bring on Don. There's Don. Oh.
We have
a
special guest.
Oh my. And what is their name?
This is Bounty.
Hi, Bounty.
And he's a beast.
Oh my goodness. So what breed is Bounty?
He's a bobtail, an old English sheepdog.
Goodness gracious, he's beautiful. I love the top knot.
Yeah,
there you go.
You can see because his hair's a bit long.
Hello, Don. Sorry, I picked on you just as you were drinking. Sorry, mate. I love the background.
Yeah, I thought it was appropriate after the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Wait, take turns.
Evening, Gary. And there's Les in the background. Good evening. Our side of the thumbnail looks like a cross between Daffy Duck and Angus Young from AC/DC. Oh, from the thumbnail for the show. Yeah, I'll bring that up here in a minute so everyone can see what we're talking about. Why, Jimmy. There we go. There's Gary. Good evening, Gary. Hold on. Can't post comments to some destinations. Chrome has given me a hell of a time today. I went to go upload something that Paz left for me and couldn't do. Is Stu working on putting together goals or something? Are we going to play a little three-a-side or something in your podcast studio there?
Three-a-side. Oh dear. I don't know whether to get this like all set up properly or get a green screen imaging.
One day I will move out of the bedroom so I don't have just the headboard in the background. So
suits you.
For everyone that was commenting, there's the thumbnail. I can see the cross now between the I can't make the comments go. Daffy Duck, yeah. But I like it, and then yours is a little feral. So that's what you do. Evening, gents. Good to see you. First one of these over on our channel. So welcome. Sorry, Baz had to work tonight, so he's left me in charge. I think Scotty is going to join us here in a bit, but we'll go from there. For those who have never seen you two before, Stu, Rob, introduce yourselves for us.
After you, Stu.
Yeah, how you doing? Name's the Mackem Cabby. Got the Mackem Cabby channel, and obviously Don, Rob joins on my channel as well on the flip version of the Mackem versus Geordies. And me and Rob would do the watch-alongs all the time, and it's good banter. So I'm enjoying being on here tonight. Hello to everyone.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Good evening. Thanks again, Stu. Rob, anything to add?
Not really. Don and myself have been mates for quite a while. We both served. Well, Don's a serving RAF officer. So in my previous career, before I retired, I was a senior Met officer, so Don and myself worked together out in Cyprus. Might have had a few drinks at some point, and might have watched a few football games while we were out there. And unfortunately, Don's never seen Newcastle beat Sunderland.
That is
In the league.
correct.
In the league. In the league. I was going to say, now, wait a minute. Shoot. How do I find that? Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to get one of our fantastic members is without a link because I failed to send it out. So give me just a second while we're on board. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's talk about the FA Cup draw that just happened. So we now know who our opponents will be in the fourth round of the cup. So let's talk about that amongst yourselves real quick while I get this going here.
Yeah, what do you think of your draw, Don?
Pretty bad, isn't it? I mean, at this rate, we're going to be fighting Premier League teams all the way to the final.
And touch wood, we're not. Mind you saying that.
Came out of it.
Yeah, saying
the good thing that came out of it, though, is if you look, the fifth round's going to have a lot of lower league teams still in it. So that, some of these lower league teams will get some good money out the fifth round, hopefully.
Yeah. And, I mean, to be honest, we've got Oxford away, and our record against Oxford away is not particularly good. I think they beat us last year in the Championship. So, not brilliant, but it's probably an easier draw than Newcastle have got.
I tell you what, yeah, Don, what do you think of ours?
Yeah, Villa away, it's a tough match. I mean, obviously, I was after the Wrexham game. But I can see the mighty Wrexham marching on. They've got at home against Ipswich. I think they've got a reasonable chance in that. They've got a potential of the fifth round. My wife will not let me live it down if Wrexham get further up in the cup than Newcastle.
Yep.
Your missus is from Wrexham, right, Don? I think our viewers
very,
know
very
that.
Close, it's St Asaph, very, very close.
Yeah. There you go.
Wrexham's
a local team.
Jen will be a tough taskmaster, Don. I'll tell you that much, mate.
She'll be taking
there he is.
Months.
Give me a second. Let me bring Scotty in here. Scott, welcome.
Evening, gents.
Evening, Scott.
And I think Mo is on the background there.
Right, Scott.
All right, we got a full complement now.
He's Malta.
Malta.
All right, guys. How you doing?
How are you? Sorry about that. I didn't see you pop in, but I didn't send the link, but now I've sent the link. So there you go.
Yeah.
Welcome in. Good to see you both. Scotty, I see you and Don have had the same thought process tonight with the backgrounds.
I love it.
we were just talking about the FA Cup draw that just happened. Obviously, Sunderland away to Oxford, and Newcastle will be away at Villa Park. Which, as Don just said, it looks like we'll just be facing Prem competition from now on in the cup, and Sunderland have got a tough fixture going to Oxford. So, thoughts from you, Scott?
In the words of The Rock, just bring it. Let's have it. Let's just have it. Yeah. At the end of the day, you've got to beat the best to get there. Then nobody can twist that we've had this easy run, whatever. Let's just go and do them and get out of there.
There you go. How about you, Mo?
Yeah, I think it was a good draw for us, to be honest. I think you've got very much the sharp end of the stick away to Villa, because I think Villa and Unai Emery is going to be after a trophy. He doesn't really like going too many seasons without a trophy, and I think he'll be targeting the FA Cup.
Yeah, fair to say. Yep. Given our current defensive predicaments, I mean, I think that's we'll be hoping for a bunch of guys to be coming back from injury about the time that we go to Villa Park. Obviously, we've got
Dan Burn back.
According to the press conference this morning, still a couple of weeks.
Oh, so you could be back with that then.
Maybe the end of January. So, yep, we'll keep our fingers crossed there. But of course, we've still got to host. We've got to host Man City on Tuesday night, and we've got a Champions League fixture in there somewhere. So, I mean, it's just we've got a couple of challenges before we get on a bus and go to Birmingham. So it's not something that I'm particularly looking forward to. We've got a hefty calendar still ahead of us. So I'm trying to pay attention to our comments as well. Let me whiz through there. Thank you, Harry, for the donation, my friend. Good to see you. I think we've answered that. Baz is at work tonight. There's Scott. There's Gary. What about so that's the FA Cup covered, I think we've talked about that to its fullest extent. It's still fourth round, then fifth round, then we're into the quarters, correct?
Yeah.
So we also just got news. Thanks, Gary. We got news today. On his birthday, Sven Botman has signed a contract extension now until 2030. Of course, his contract was up to expire at the end of next season, so this is good news for us. Love the video, Gary. Leslie, you're going to have to give me more information on that. What happened? What did I do? Where's the video? So that's good news for us. We don't know the particulars about the contract. Obviously, contracts have been a topic of discussion at Newcastle now all summer last summer, with one particular contract in heavy discussion all the way until the departure to Anfield. The question is whether or not there's going to be a release clause or something like that. I don't know if we'll get that information about Sven's new contract. Thanks,
To be honest,
Gary.
I don't think Newcastle would actually put a release clause in any player's contract based on the amount of money the owners do have, the amortization costs that they can do over the period, and basically a release clause can work against you because you might think, okay, let's value that guy at £100 million, right? And then he could have a great World Cup, you could get really far in the Champions League, and then Real Madrid will come along. 100 million quid for him.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
So it's fine, like at some level, if a player's like a Joe Bellingham, for example, right? But I think for established internationals, you're only pandering basically to your Real Madrid, your Barcelonas, your PSGs, who are PSG are like yourself, owned by your state, or those clubs that have got unlimited overdraft, like Real Madrid or Barcelona, and the other ones like the Kings team. I mean, I dread to think if Sunderland did any renewal of any of our new players, like who are still quite young, that we put, let's put a £60 million release clause on roofs, for example. Bayern Munich are just going to come along, say, here you go, 60 million quid. We'll have roofs or nothing.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any thoughts on that? Possible release clause in the new Botman contract?
No, as Maltus just said, it's a sort of thing where you might put a release clause in, and you might be underselling yourselves.
And it works both ways. I mean, if you put the one that's in too high, obviously, then you've protected yourself from losing the player, but at the same time, the player's sitting there going, but what if I do really, really well and I want to go someplace else? I mean, it's a double-edged sword. So I think perhaps, Mo, you might be right.
I think that's how we got Alderete so cheap, because of a release clause. I mean, some of the players that we picked up over the summer for tuppence halfpenny, I think that's because they've had release clauses in there. I think that's the same with the Roof Steel. We got him through the release clause, Alderete through the release clause, and who did we get? McGaley. I think all those players came through, release clauses. And I'm just trying to think, we got Alderete from Getafe, and the Getafe chairman was crying afterwards saying, you've got a £60 million player for £20 million. Mate, not our fault.
Yeah. That sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. So, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, agreed. And you hate to see it done, but it's of course it was the talk of last summer. You know, supposedly there may have been a promise, a verbal or something like that. But again, it all goes back to if it's not in writing, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, and the player can be hard can feel hard done by, but you know that's for the players and the player's agent to take care of. I think I speak for all of us that I don't think any of us want to see a player do what was done last summer, where you know just down tools and say, you know what, I'm not going to do anything until I get my move. I think that just doesn't benefit anybody.
No,
So
no, totally agree. Mind
So-
you, saying that, Dan, Sunderland had the opposite with Peter Reid, where Peter
Yeah.
Reid refused to play somebody because he wouldn't sign a new contract
Yep.
because he wanted away, and he just said, "Right, that's it. You're not playing."
Yep.
So you know, it swings and roundabouts, I think. But you're right in what you say. Players should.
Was that
be down
Alex Ray?
tools. No, it was Magic Johnson.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure the same thing happened with Alex Ray as well.
I remember Johnson getting dropped, and he didn't play another game for Sunderland.
And
He
Alex
left
Ray
in the
because he
summer.
wanted to go to Rangers,
Yeah,
and then he just saw out the rest of his contract, but didn't play any games.
yeah. It's it is what it is, I suppose. But you're right in what you say, though, Dan. Players, it's just a bad attitude when they're down tools because they throw the toys out of the pram.
Yep.
Just because they aren't getting what they want.
Well, and like that, Rob. Unfortunately, what that means is that they also then get a reputation. You know, it's one thing for a manager to say, "Look, I know you want away, and you're not doing anything for us productively, so I'm just going to put you on the bench, or I'm going to make you train with the reserves and everything." But for a player to do that for themselves, to choose to do that, you know, on their own, that then just gives them a reputation of, well, this guy's going to be difficult in the future. So, you know,
I think the word you're looking for is dick.
True. You know, that's you're not speaking out of turn there. So no, and Leslie's absolutely correct. You know, Semenyo showed everybody how it should have been done. You know, he played all the way up to the end, scored a. What was that? Who's opened a bag of crisps?
Someone's got
That was me. That was me. Sorry.
Go on mute then. unless you're going to share.
Who was that?
It was me opening a packet of crisps. Walker.
You've got to share them out, Mulder.
Exactly. No, and Semenyo with his last game against Bournemouth, he put in a full shift. He scored the winning goal. I mean, just everything about it was the right way. That guy is class, just 100% class as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to get off the FA Cup real quick. We finished up the FA Cup talking about Botman's contract. Gary asks a question for everybody. Do you think either of our clubs will do any business in this window? And if not, should they?
I think Sunderland need to. I think Sunderland definitely need to, because if we get an injury to Xhaka or Siddiqui, the players who are going to come in are level down at least, if not more. Centre half, I think we're covered, but again, I think if he really wants to go for a top 10 position, because there is 10 teams going for 5th, 6th, and 7th, right? There's 3 points, 2 points between 10 clubs, right? The strength and depth, the additions you will make now, and the form that you will do between now and the end of the season will make the difference. It's basically like, I mean, it's been a long time since you guys were in the Championship, but for us, in the Championship, that section of like 14 teams are still in with a playoff chance with 8 games to go. And it's going to be the same in the Premier League. There's going to be 10 teams can still finish in Europe with 8 games to go.
Yeah. Got it.
That's why I think we need to get a striker in, to be honest, because if I look at, I mean, the last time we won a game in 90 minutes was against Hughes.
Yeah.
And the reason we've not won more games is, and even before that, we should have won that Liverpool match. You know, if Isidore was a more composed Finnish striker, he would have scored that. There's other games where a more clinical striker and we would have picked up the points, you know. So I think that's key for Sunderland. And you know what it is? I'm like Regis Lebris, really. There is no room for sentiment with Mayenda or Isidore. Yes, they got us promoted. Mayenda, he's still just a young lad. He's only 20, right? And he's good in the Premier League, and I wouldn't let him go on loan. But I'd rather we got in a 30, 40, 50 million pound striker, really, you know, and him and Brobby can battle it out for who's the starter, who's the finisher, and then who do we get if there's an injury comes along.
There you go. Yep. Stu, Rob, anything to add there?
I reckon Malta's right. I mean, I've been saying it for a while. We're lacking that killer instinct type of a striker. Someone who knows where the goal is, because we're having a lot of possession. We're getting too many chances and not converting those chances into goals. And when you're in the Premier League, you know, you can't take no prisoners. You've got to be 100% strict. You know what I mean? If you're not cutting it, and then I'm sorry, like, but thanks for the previous season. See you later. Yeah, we need the quality in, because it's just, you just don't get any leeway in this Premier League. You've got to put your chances away, you know. And there's too many games where the likes of Isidore, Mr. Blobby and Corm and Mayenda and whatnot, they're just going anonymous. They're going missing, and that's not good enough for the Premier League. You need a talisman or two. Now, a lot of fans say, well, they're not getting the service, you know, but I mean, look, I believe that they are, and I just think, you know, they're not the type of striker we're after. The strikers we've got at the minute, they don't seem to read the game. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's been times where we've had a shot off a goalkeeper, and it's been parried away, and it's bounced back into the 18-yard area.
And I hate that. You know what it is, Cabby?
There's no one there instinct.
Right.
We need to put it away.
Or Caddy, as John Anderson called you this afternoon.
I know, I heard that.
Right, but yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, we win a lot of first balls and second balls, right, from corners. I mean, the amount of, and even from the long throws, the amount of balls that, Ballard wins, right?
Yeah.
But you know for a fact it's either got to have to be a worldie from Enzo, right, or the odd overhead kick, because Michele obviously loves an overhead kick, right? But you know that if we had a Marco or a Darren Bent or a Jermaine Defoe, you know, or a Kevin Phillips, would be in fourth place by now, or fifth at the worst.
Yeah, I think the problem is, though, Malta, is the likes of a Defoe or a Phillips or a Bent or a Gabbiadini, they only come along about once in a generation. So, you know, and can you buy players like that?
Yeah.
Difficult to say without spending, you know, what was it, £125 million on somebody who scored one goal and broke his leg? I don't know. You know, one goal.
Wait a minute, who could that be?
Yeah, exactly. You know, where you're going to find that type of goal scorer.
Do you know what? Gasolfi will know. Gasolfi has made the absolute difference to Sunderland this season. With all of the signings that have come in, they've all come in under his banner, from his little black book, from his rota of agents, right? He'll have a player. He will have a player who is there, who there's a World Cup coming along, right? He can come to Sunderland and he can stake his claim for World Cup place by playing 17 games in the Premier League and a couple in the FA Cup, right? And even if he comes along on loan, let's get somebody in on loan who's maybe at one of these big European clubs, but he's not getting the starting minutes.
I've said umpteen times. I mean, I get slated for saying it. I don't think Isidore, Mayenda, are good enough for the Premier League. And I'm even sort of, even though Mr. Brobby's a big unit, I'm sort of like got me doubts on him as well. I mean, I'm going to give him more fair time, but I wouldn't miss me Ender and Isidore if they got sold on, because honestly, they're great for Championship, but they go missing far too many times, too many weeks. When was the last time Isidore scored? Chelsea away, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't good enough. I mean, he's supposed to be our striker, and Mr. Blobby gets you just put them away. But I don't know. There's just something not right.
On the opposite side, Scott, Don, we've been hurting in the defensive department so far the last 5-6 weeks, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any rosier before the end of this transfer window. So the question is, you know, is that an area that people will be looking for? Eddie said in his press conference today, before the Man City game tomorrow night, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You know, the problem with buying anybody in the winter window, in the January transfer window, is if you're looking for someone to fill a short-term need and you bring them in on a permanent transfer, you're then, you know, if it doesn't work out, you're then stuck with that player for the 3, 4, 5 years of that season. Or if you bring in someone from on loan, you know, and that player has a really good season, all of a sudden you've built up somebody's reputation that then you don't get to capitalize on later in their career as well, because that player will just go on loan. I look at that as a double-edged sword, as I've said before. But I mean, like, young Joe Willock, you know, he came in from Arsenal, not getting minutes, not doing anything, with a questionable injury record, you know, but he comes up to Newcastle for the second half of the season and comes on like gangbusters, so well that we spunked our entire transfer kitty that summer, 25 million on him to come. And look at what's happened over the last couple of seasons. He had his injury record, and he hasn't been able to fulfill, other than the one pass against Spurs with the outside of the boot to a certain rat that's no longer at the club anymore. Other than that, he hasn't exactly set the world alight. Go ahead, Scott. I know you've been trying to say something.
No, do you know what it is? I just don't like this window, because anybody that's going to improve us is going to be a premium. I mean, we could do with another striker. Like, you're not getting a decent striker in this window. For love nor money, you ain't doing it unless you're going to spunk a lot of money.
Yeah.
One thing we did speak about, was it last night, is Mr. Callum Wilson is looking for possibly some minutes. Do you know what it is? Give him a go. Train with us. If you can get some minutes in, great. I just don't want to shell out a lot of money on players for the bench. Eddie always says we've got a small pool of players we can look at, because he wants quality to improve the team, not just bring numbers in. And January ain't the month to do it. Unfortunately, we do probably need somebody in defence. And I think he's got to sort that. If we don't bring at least, I think, 2 defenders in, we're going to struggle big style.
Yeah. The question was put to Eddie today, are we looking at, is there a cutoff date for a decision to be made about bringing Matt Targett back off loan? And he intimated that there is a cutoff date, that Ross Wilson is familiar with that cutoff date, and that, there certainly will be a discussion to be had here at some point. And that decision will have to be made. We with the loss of Tino Livramento, we've lost that versatility player that can play either fullback position. So if something was to happen to Lewis Hall, we'd be in a right state, simply because we have no other backups to play at the left back. Lewis Miley has been pressed into playing right back over the last several weeks and has done a phenomenal job, having never played there before. But at the same time, you don't want that to be the permanent solution from now until the end of the season. He's a central midfielder. We expect him to play central midfield, even though he has played well at right back. People calling him the Geordie Maldini. But I mean, he also then slipped into center defense the other night, because we had no center backs on the bench. So and I agree,
We're
Scott.
talking about this like it's
Go ahead,
sneaked
Don.
up on us. It hasn't sneaked up on us.
Agreed.
Yeah,
100%.
we've been looking for centre backs. We've looked at
Yep.
Scalvini. We looked at Gui. You know, so we have a list of players we want to get after.
Yep.
We should, so we don't have to worry about this sort of thing. We're only buying them for the rest of the season. We
100%.
have scouted defenders. We know what we're looking at. We know which ones of them are available. We just need to get out there and buy them.
I agree.
How many
And
of
the
your
premium
centre-halves
is
are
not
injured?
that high, to be honest. So at the moment, Burns is out. Livramento is out.
Yep.
Botman's coming back, but nearly there. Shaw's out.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're probably at about 50% of our team.
Yep. Agreed.
At the back. So we've just got to buy.
Yep.
And to be honest, if we buy Scalvini, he is a replacement for Fabian Shaw in the long term. He is a replacement, for Trips, who is, he's not getting any younger. Trips has not got any more seasons left in him.
No.
He's knackered.
No, agreed.
See, the other thing is, we might need Miley in the midfield soon as well, because they're putting in a lot of shifts as well.
Right. Agreed.
She's had some more.
Well.
And the difference for us being that we're still in several of the competitions, so rotation has got to come into play at some point. So and yes, Don, I agree. There's a short list, an obvious short list, obviously a shopping list that we continue to go back to. The question is whether or not that player is, one, available, two, fit, and three, whether or not we've heard mentioned in the past, that the January window is always the worst window to buy in, simply because no one wants to sell a player midway through the season. No one wants to lose a player, and they're usually at exorbitant prices. But I will say, to anybody saying that, the last several windows have proven that all the prices are exorbitant. Doesn't matter who it is. If you're going after anybody to bring them to the Premier League, you're paying above and beyond, simply because that's the price that they're charging for it. So I agree with Scotty that go ahead, Don.
The other bit is, you spend 20 million quid on a defender, he gets you in the Champions League, which gets you 35 million quid.
No disagreement there. Agreed.
It's one of those things where league position, cup runs, and potential Champions League football, all of those things have got to be factored in into maybe paying 5 to 10 million quid over odds. Yeah,
understood. Yeah, no, and that's the other thing is, is there a defender available for 20 million? That's the big thing. So there's probably players that are available for 40, 50 million. And then we get into the crap of SCR, PSR, whatever the hell you want to call it. So, I just want to. I've been putting them off. Evening Blade, good to see you. Wanted to jump in real quick here on a couple of transfer ideas or someone. So apparently, according to several sources, Conor Gallagher is apparently going to Spurs for about 40 million euro. Apparently, Villa was in for him, but Spurs came in and hijacked the deal. So that would be interesting. He is a London lad. I think he would want to return back to London. So let's see where that goes. Harry Fieldhouse, young man, asking a lot of questions. And the first of all, thank you for the donations. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you, young sir. Asking the Sunderland crew, when Job Bellingham left for Dortmund, what were your feelings on that one?
That was a good.
I thought it was a great business by us, to be honest. Because you know what, he wouldn't even get into the side. He wouldn't. He if he was at Sunderland right now, he'd be like Dan Neely would have spat his dummy out.
Yeah. I totally agree. He used. The thing with Bellingham is he used to go missing in games. Sometimes he'd play brilliantly, but that was maybe his one game in 5. He'd have average games for 2 of them, and he'd have sub-average games for 2 of them. He was very hit-y-missy, and I think he's proved it when he's gone to Dortmund. He's struggling. he's not doing particularly well at Dortmund, is he? So, no great loss for Sunderland. Spent the money that we got off him wisely and brought in the likes of Mukiele and Diarra. So
yeah. You did spend well. I mean, I think that was the surprising thing, but you didn't exactly do like a Forest did when they came up and they bought, what was it, 20 new players?
Well, we were close. We bought 15.
We got 14. 14. The difference. Yeah, the difference with what Sunderland did to what Forest and Ipswich did is we didn't buy anybody from the Championship. Pretty much every player we bought were internationals and had European football experience, either in the Champions League, like Ronaldo played 7 out of the last 9 seasons in the Champions League. Xhaka obviously been playing in the Champions League for years,
obviously,
or they played in the Europa League. So we bought in players who were and they were all above levels of what I thought we were going to get. Honestly, I really thought that we were actually going to be going back in for Jack Clark, and we were going to get Jordan Henderson in, and we were going to be maybe getting some foreign imports. Like we got some foreign imports. I did not think we'd be getting players at the level of Ronaldo, who I knew because I watch a lot of La Liga, Alderete, Mukiele from PSG, world champions, European champions. European champions.
Yep.
And I was like, no, man, somebody wake me up from this dream. We're not signing these players. So, and Kirill and Gosolfi and Speakman had all these players, even Mr. Brobby, right, were all on their radar. They had 2 lists, basically. If we're still in the Championship, it's this list. And if we go up, it's this list.
Yeah.
And so it's been great business. And I think the only one who sort of failed to really impress is Masuaka. And that's only because he's not had the game time.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks, Malta. Harry asked if I've ever been to St. James's. Yes, I have, young man. I've been to St. James's multiple times. I was there 3 times in 2025, and I will be there 3 times coming up in the next month or so. I'll be over in the end of February for the Everton match. I'll be there for the Man U match, and I hope to get the chance to meet Cabby and Malta and Rob at some point, because I'll be in town for the return fixture when the Mackems come to St. James's Park.
Oh, the derby. So
Cabby, looking forward to that.
John, I think what would be really good is if we did like an in-person, like we do an in-person show.
Yep, agreed. I think that would be great.
Like in neutral territory like Gateshead or somewhere like that. Not in Newcastle, not in Sunderland, because we'll all want to wear our colours. South Shields would be a good neutral venue.
Half and half, isn't it?
Yeah.
South Shields is half and half. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a fantastic coffee shop there, according to a couple of YouTubers that I just watched. So,
the Pension Monument will be fine.
Yeah, in front of the monument.
There is lots of good coffee shops there in South Shields.
Agreed. So we'll definitely have to set that up together. We'll do that off camera. We'll figure that out. That'll be fun. So all this talk of rotation and players coming in and everything like that. Let's talk a little bit about the next set of fixtures. Obviously, we've got a big one tomorrow night. Carrying on as the defending champions of the Carabao Cup. We've got the semi-final round coming up, and our first match in the semi-finals is against Man City, albeit at home. St. James's is always a fantastic place to watch a match under the lights on a Tuesday evening, but at the same time, it's against Man City, who just put 10 past Exeter. So it's for us, it's a bit nervy, considering the players that we've got out injured at the moment. So looking for how to rotate, especially since both of our clubs just played 120 minutes and PKs in the FA Cup in the 3rd round. We're all going to be looking at the possibilities of resting some players. Sunderland, you've got the ability to rest some players now between now and the next Premier League fixture. We've got again playing Man City tomorrow night at St. James's. Don, Scott, we've seen, we know what the injury list is. We've seen who our walking wounded are. Heard in the press conference this morning that Elanga and Murphy may be available. They've had a couple of niggles. I think Murphy had a hamstring. Elanga's had an ankle issue or something like that. But apparently that they'll be looking tomorrow to be past fit so that they can play some part. We saw this last weekend, or we saw on the weekend, we saw something that we never thought we'd see this season. We saw Vissa and Voltemata play up front together. Vissa came off. Voltemata played the whole 120 minutes and took a PK. It bounced back to him off. I was going to say, it came back to him, right back to his feet off the crossbar. But the fact of the matter is, he played the full 120. So, is the expectation that he'll be rested against Man City and will start Vissa from the beginning? Gordon and Barnes played the whole game and took PKs. Tonali came on, Bruno came on, Joe Linton came on. Bruno missed a PK. It's just, I think we're going to be cobbling it together, even though it'll be at St. James's. That gives a little spring in our step. We just, for all intents and purposes, we have to get some kind of result tomorrow night to take to the Etihad. Agreed?
Agreed, totally. I think the whole Eddie, Elanga, Murphy, they'll be in the side. They'll be in the side. You know what he's like when he's in his press conferences. He gives an out away. I'm hoping he goes with Elanga. I really want to kickstart this lad's career at Newcastle. I'm really wanting to wind him up. He's going to have some pace about him. I'd start Wisser as well, like you say. Armada played the 120, so yeah. And I think Gordon's got to turn up as well. If we need to take something away from St. James's Park tomorrow, or else we're going to be like climbing Mount Everest, isn't it?
Yeah. Just real quick, Harry's. Sorry, Don. Harry Fieldhouse is in the comments. He's a young man, and he says it's time for him to go to bed. So thank you, Harry, for joining, and thanks again for the donations. We will mention it to Baz. Look forward to having you back on the show anytime, young man. Good to see you. Or maybe we'll meet you when I'm over there next month. We'll see. Yeah. That would be great. Tell your mom and dad, come on down and we'll meet like at the Strawberry or coffee or something. So good to meet you, friend.
Out of interest, sorry, Dan, it looks as though the dog that he's got as his profile picture, that's Harry, is an old English sheepdog.
Oh, is it?
With no hair.
There you go. Cheers, Harry. Thank you very much. Don, I cut you off. Back to you, sir.
I don't think we need to worry about the squad that we're playing tomorrow night. I think first team wise we'll be absolutely fine. I think our issue will be the strength we've got on the bench. But we are going to be down to the bare bones, so they need to be careful on the injuries tomorrow night.
Agreed. Yeah. What else have we got? That's us tomorrow. We're honestly looking forward to that. Sunderland, who have you got next? And it's the Prem next weekend, correct?
We've got Palace on Saturday.
At home or away?
At home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. They're having a bit of a bump. I think the news. I think the news that Glasner is off in the summer, or he hasn't exactly made his decision known. I think has kind of ruffled a couple of feathers. We'll see if they're able to hold on to all of their players through this transfer window. Obviously, as Don said, Gay has always intrigued a couple of clubs. Is there the possibility that he could go to Anfield? Is there the possibility that he could go to Spurs? There's a whole bunch of different clubs that are interested in Mark Gahey. But the question is whether or not they're able to stick around. So, what are you looking for in terms of a visiting Palace to the Stadium of Light?
It's got to be 3 points for us. It absolutely has to be 3 points. to get our season actually back on track. Because, like I say, we put everything into those games, right? Beating Hughes, getting the draw at Anfield, beating Chelsea, getting a draw against Man City, and the draw against Spurs, right? We've put everything into that, and then Brentford, the again, Lefay, I don't know what he was thinking. He's redeemed himself with a goal and a penalty, but I'm sure Lebris, I'm sure Speakman will be saying 3 points, and I'm sure Granit Xhaka, he'll be fuming at these draws, because he's an elite level player, right? An absolute elite league title winning player who's played in European finals, won a couple of FA Cups with Arsenal, and he'll be thinking that these draws, it's unlike Sunderland. For us, we're thinking, hey, a draw against a Premier League side. Of course, I'll always take a draw against Liverpool, home or away, because I've never seen us win at Anfield since I've been going to matches. But we have to beat Palace. We've got to. You know what it is? We need a bit of cutting edge at home. Getting draws, it's all right. We're not going to go down, right? We're not going to go down. But if we've got any ambition of a top 10 finish, we've got to put sides to the sword.
Yep. Agreed. Don, Gabby, Rob, Cabby.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we'll win on Saturday. Palace are on a bad run. They've just, half a dozen games ago they were up in the top 4, top 5, gone 10 games unbeaten or something like that. But they've gone off the boil. They seem to be struggling. It is a case of, we need the 3 points. We've got to cut this gap,
Oh yeah, that's the other reason as well.
Sorry, I'll reiterate that. We've got to re-establish the gap.
Well, and we've got a couple of matches in between them, so it's going to be like we've been talking about the last couple of minutes. Just we're going to have to see what kind of rotation that we're going to be able to put in there. Yeah, Baz is currently on in the background. He's in the comments. He's found himself a break at work, so he's got in real quick. So while he's watching, I do want to show a couple of things. There we go. I think these might be raffle items for our evening at Newcastle Benfield. Let's see here. Which the fantastic what's the words I'm looking for? Fantastic
words of support.
Words of support. Thank you from Sunderland for Kevin Keegan, who of course just before the match the other night it was announced that he's going to be that he's entering a cancer fight. That he's been diagnosed with cancer and that he's going to be undergoing treatment. So a touch of class there from Sunderland. Since we were just talking about it, there's this. Baz found this one. He wanted to show 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy. There's our joyful pair of magpies, and there's that pile of something down there in 10th. But we were just joking about reestablishing the gap.
21 games.
There you go. Let's see here.
Just on that Newcastle Benfield as well, we were speaking to
yes,
Daz, and I'm going to be donating 2 golf 4 balls at the Newcastle Gosforth Racecourse Crowd, Newcastle Gosforth Golf Club for years as well.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you. Again, a reminder that on the 27th of February, on the Friday night at Newcastle Benfield, through Black and White Eyes, will be hosting this talk-in. Baz and myself will be on hand with Graham Bailey from Team Talk. We'll do a little talk about the transfer window that closed and what were the big moves, what were the big news items of the day there. But then we're going to take a step aside and we're going to hand over the mics to two legends in the Northeast, to Super Mac and John Gibson, otherwise known as Gibbo, who are both coming to Newcastle Benfield for a talk-in to support the charities. Super Mac is supporting Azure, which is John Gibson's preferred charity, and then Graham Bailey has chosen the Butterworth Hospice House, and all proceeds for those will be going to those two charities. Again, tickets are £15 per person for a tandem like Super Mac and Gibbo. That's a steal. We hope to see as many of you as out there as possible to come join us. I'm just going to put this up there and freeze frame it for just a second. This is the QR code that will take you to the ticket purchasing link. So if you are interested in joining us again on Friday, February 27th at Newcastle Benfield Football Club for a talk-in with Super Mac, Malcolm McDonald, and John Gibbo Gibson, journalist extraordinaire and fantastic storyteller in his own right. Come and join us there at Newcastle Benfield. And as you just heard from Malta, we got a couple of giveaways, and I think that's what Baz was meaning to give us, was these two items. Also being sponsored by Prince Charming of Wallsend, great memorabilia shop. They're a little bit of a jack of all trades. They cut keys, they frame pictures, they do all kinds of things, but they have lots of memorabilia, not only Newcastle based and other clubs as well, but they also have lots of movie memorabilia, music memorabilia. So they have a Facebook page there that you can find them, Prince Charming. They're also known as M&J Jewelry. So have a look over there. While I'm doing it, just a reminder to everybody that you can become a member of our channel for as little as 99p a month. Again, you have to be a member in order to participate in any of the drawings for prizes and such. But again, it's completely free to subscribe and be, part of the channel. But to become a member, you can become a member for as little as 99p. Also, our fantastic sponsors, Dire Crow, with some fantastic Newcastle merchandise. Use the code BAZ20 for 20% off. Thank you to Joe Spinney and family out of Charlotte, North Carolina. They do great work. Not only t-shirts and such, they also do bedding and blankets and all that kind of stuff. If you are planning a trip to the Northeast and don't know what to do other than go to football grounds and watch football, do get in touch with the award-winning Geordieland experience. Reach out to Sparky Buddy, drink a six-pack of Red Bull, go on a tour with Sparky Buddy, and try and keep up, because the man speaks just a mile a minute, and you'll enjoy the hell out of that trip. If you go and find them on Instagram, you'll see loads of people who have taken up the offer and gone on tours with Sparky and have just had a fantastic time. So we've got about 7 minutes left. I think I'm trying to look at what Baz's gift sent me here, and then he also. So, what has been established is questions, correct, gentlemen? from our esteemed colleagues over there on the other side of the Northeast, we have questions that we're supposed to ask, and they're kind of sticky. So I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this, and then we'll close. So question number 1. You guys know what that badge is, yes?
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us what year was this badge introduced?
Early 70s?
No, not early 70s.
I would have said that's 1930s.
Aye, that's what I was going with. I'd go
my
with,
era.
yeah.
My age.
32.
All
right. So I'll do it this way. Malta, you said 1932. Rob,
Yeah.
Rob, what time? When do you think?
Yeah, 1930s. I think it's late 20s. So yeah, 1930. I would say.
Stu?
Oh, crikey, well, I was a mile off, wasn't I? You want shot Baz for this? I gave him easy questions last week. Crikey. Wait, let's see him. I was a mile off, because, Yeah, I've got to go with my instinct, no matter how far I'm out. I'm going to say early 70s.
You said early 70s.
Yeah.
All right, and Malta and Rob, you both said in the 30s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you're in the middle, and Stu is actually closer. That badge was introduced the same year that England won the World Cup, 1966.
I was born then as well.
There you go. So you may have been swaddled in it, but you don't remember it.
Yeah, correct. I was all of 3 or 4 year olds. So
Yeah.
Baz reminded me of this one. FTM slices are back at ALS, and this time they're here to stay.
Yeah. That's right.
There you go. What's this one? This is the worst day of my life. The worst day of your life so far.
We're going to have to get the YouTube Ofcom guys in with this, like.
Oh, that's great. What about this one?
That's AI. Terrible AI, by the way.
AI, there's a real one out there.
Right,
That
wait
was-
till next Monday. Right.
Let me.
Who have the Geordies got next?
So
I would
So
now
we've got-
declare
we
the
have-
war has started.
we have Wolves away is our next one, but of course we.
Easy 3 points then.
No, but at the same time, we've got Man City tomorrow night in the Cup, and then we've got. Is it PSV? No, we're not going away. We don't have a Champions League fixture before Wolves, right? We have Man City and then Wolves on the weekend,
And then the Champions
In
League.
the past,
and the Champions League. Yep.
I still think you'll beat Wolves. Like,
So second question, and because we talked about this, because this has been a fantastic bit of banter left and right. When was the first ever derby match between Newcastle and Sunderland?
1880. Actually, no. What year were you formed? 1892.
Yep.
Yeah. You see, I think there was actually a game of Sunderland versus Newcastle, but it could have been Newcastle West End in the 88-89 season.
We'll discount that one.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
since United was formed in 1892, and there's obviously
I'm gonna
there's
go with 1912.
yeah.
No.
I was thinking 1908.
No, I'm going to go 1896 when Rob was 2 years old.
Oh, thanks, Walter. I was three.
You're not far off. The correct answer was 1898.
Hey,
You see?
good shout, Walter.
So there you go. No, that was great. Who was? Hold on. So yeah. Wait.
Oh, so it was the 1898-99 season. The only reason why is because I've got some old memorabilia and there's a painting of the game. So
There you go.
Yeah.
So Gary says we need 3 points on Sunday away at Wolves. That's next Sunday, and then 2 home games. We host both Villa and then PSV. So there you go. Gary said if you had a break, did he have a Kit Kat bar?
I think that Wolves game might be a little bit tougher than you expect because they seem to be on a bit of a roll at the moment.
Yep. Oh, the big question is whether or not between now and then someone comes in with 35 million for Strand Larson, and then they're really going to be, hurting.
Yeah, well, there's that to it, considering he was on the market for 50 million in the summer.
Exactly.
Is he a striker? That's Strand Larson.
Yeah, that's the 6'5" Norwegian. So
Sunderland should buy him, like-
playing Strand Larson. They haven't been playing Strand Larson. He's
been coming off the
in the last
bench.
2 games.
Yep.
Yeah, they've been playing Mane. And to be honest, the teams that they've played recently, they don't have the counter attack that Wolves are vulnerable to.
No.
Yeah.
And we do. So they're not going to like playing Gordon and Barnes.
little bit of clarification. That was a sheer signed street sign, which is the stuff that's going to be on offer there. and a Beardsley signed shirt. You can see Beardsley's signature right there, and then Shear's signature on that sign there. So there's the answers to that question. Shit, just lost the damn comment. Let me turn that one off again. Sorry about that.
What did you think of that strip? Did you like that strip with the two different thicknesses of stripes?
It's always been an interesting one, and polarizing. I don't mind it. First of all, please, forgive my naivete as well. Grinnell's was a beer or a beer brand.
Brewery. It was a brewery.
Got it. And then that was then replaced by McEwen's, which was then replaced by Scottish and Newcastle. For our history in that order.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not
sure. It was actually
Greenall,
S&N before Greenall's. You actually had the
Greenall's
Newcastle Blue Star.
After
That's
S&N
true.
Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I do like it. It's different. Simply because, I mean, if we were able to bring that wide out, the right sleeve is the wide stripes, and then the left sleeve is the thin stripes, where it's the opposite on the front of the kit. It's an interesting kit. Definitely eye-catching, but like I said, I think
name barcodes.
Exactly.
What was the make of that kit? Who made it?
Probably ASICS. I have a feeling that's a replica. But I think the original one was ASICS, if I remember right. I don't think it was Umbro. It definitely wasn't Adidas. It was before that.
Our best providers Hummel by a long shot. It was the
you like the Hummels?
By a million miles.
In the late 80s, early 90s, and then we went through Adidas, and then Nike. They were all right, but for some strange reason, Hummel just seems to get it. They just know.
Yeah, agreed. Umbro is what Leslie said. It was an Umbro shirt. So thank you, Les. There was a question. Oh, it was the the table. This table that was done by Bruno's dad. Bruno G's dad. So you got to give him credit. You got to get him a little bit of credit there.
Put a little bit of red on the old Magpies there, so there's a little bit of he's starting to swing the other way, I think.
And they do have red in their badge as well.
Yeah, just on the England flag.
Still got it in.
Now.
Still got a red and white stripe in your badge.
For now, Malta, there's the talk of them redesigning the crest and all that.
Green.
So,
yeah, they're all green.
All green. Gary likes the book tickets because he had a few of them. All right. I think he did ask me to do one thing that was the house cleaning thing that I had earlier. So I'm just going to play this for a minute. So you guys know what that was? I don't even know if it'll play.
Oh, that's what that street came on, wasn't it? Wasn't it a Spanish streeter called Paneca or something she came on?
Unfortunately, it was just too easily saved, wasn't it? Yeah, it's not. I tried to drag a video in there and it doesn't work, so screw it. All right, there you go.
If the keeper had dived, it would have been a good goal.
It would have been a fantastic goal.
Do you know what he also did wrong there, right? It was his run-up. His run-up just wasn't convincing. If you're going to do a penalty, you've got to sprint like Buggy and look convincing that you're going to put your foot through it. He didn't.
Yeah.
His run-up was just like, he talked about give the game away. Keeping you straight away what he was going to do.
It was, well, and I credit to Baz for trying to get that video up there to play and everything. Again, we can talk about, like we talked about earlier, Bruno's shot was saved. And of course, Voltemata's only 2 PKs that he's taken for the club. One was against not enforced. And let's be honest, that one was a complete belter, putting it up in the return address corner of the goal. And just and in the roof of the net. But yeah, the one against the one at the weekend was tame. I mean, if only wasn't 6'6", I think it would have been under the crossbar.
You've just got to remember though, Dan. Walter Mackems scored goal of the season.
Oh, Jesus! Walter Mackem. Oh, Jesus! Oh, that
Can
was
you
a good
believe
one,
the
Rob.
Sunderland fans are actually buying Sunderland tops and they're putting Voldemort
Voldemort on the.
It's just how nuts is that?
Yeah.
There's a guy who sits in front of me, 2 rows. There's a guy who sits two rows in front of me in the north stand, who's got one of the old tops, and he's had Voldemort 27 put on it.
Oh my
Gonna go
God.
down in history. Why not? I mean, yeah, great fun, great banter.
Well, and I think we can all. I mean, Don, Scott. I think we can all agree it was a hell of a header, wasn't it?
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
brilliant.
I think he
That-
didn't know
would have
that
been-
you had
that
changed
would have been-
halves.
That would have been goal of the season had he scored it for Newcastle. It
I
would
get
have
it.
been
It's
goal
still
of the
going to get
season.
voted. It's still going to get voted as goal of the season.
The Geordies either they'll vote that for goal of the season, won't they?
It'll be something else. All right, lads. Final thoughts. We'll go around the room real quick. Stu, next one of these will be, of course, on your channel next Monday. Mackems versus Geordies. Any closing thoughts for you, sir?
Yeah. Well, like I say, we've got a match coming up. Crystal Palace. We're going to get out this quick draw. McGraw, carry on. So we'll look forward to that. And yeah, back on the Mackem Cabby channel next Monday. I'm going to have to hunt some pictures out because that was some dirty play there from Baz. He did not tell me about them.
Yeah, I just all I got was a note saying, "Hey, don't forget to show the pictures." I was like, "Okay, so I'll show the pictures." So shows me right. Rob, how about you, sir?
No, good bit of banter again as usual. Looking forward to the return. We'll think something up, don't we?
Malta.
Yeah, no, really good crack. And what do you call it? Yeah, we'll definitely have to catch up when you come over this side as well.
Yeah.
And are you watching the NFL?
I am not watching the NFL. I did see the result yesterday. The Niners knocking out Philadelphia. So should be an interesting run now to the Super Bowl. So we'll see. Obviously, everybody up here is in my neck of the woods. You know, I live 2 hours south of San Francisco, so everybody's chuffed about the Niners continuing their off season. You know, everybody's laughing at Las Vegas and the Raiders.
Yeah,
you know,
don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. I'm a Raiders fan.
Well, and of course they get the, you know, I think at this point they get the first draft pick next season.
We do.
So
Yeah,
there you go.
definitely. We need a new quarterback and a new coach.
Well, let's see what happens. I heard Xavi's available. Wrong football.
Malta, Rob, would you take Callum Wilson to Sunderland?
No.
No,
You wouldn't.
nah.
He's too old.
He's
He's nearly as old as me, Cabby.
I
Him and
think
Rob went to school on a Brontosaurus, man.
I still think that Callum Wilson hazards a hope of making it to the World Cup. So, Les, Malta, did you see what Les put in the comments there? Yeah, please drop a message.
Yeah, cool.
Or it could be Baz.
Baz. Oh yeah,
He
Baz.
might
I've
still
got
be
his
on the
number.
break.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've got his number. Yeah, I'll drop him a WhatsApp.
Need to sort the charity prize out with you. That's what he's saying.
Cool.
So, yep. So, Scotty, Don, anything for you two?
Good win tomorrow night. Up the mags.
There you go. Don?
To be honest, I'm not really that fussed about tomorrow night. I'm more focused on our league performance, if I was to be honest.
You just want to keep that gap, don't you, Don?
We haven't got the squad to be playing this many games. And to be fair, the Champions League and the Premier League are the most important things for us.
Yep.
I think, your game against Palace is going to be quite challenging because they did rest a few key players in that last game, so they might have a little bit of freshness in that squad. So yeah, this weekend will be interesting.
There you go. Baz, you're in the comments, sir. Anything left? See if he's got any words of wisdom for us before he goes back on once he's done with his break. I'm just looking at the comments there. Leslie Blade, Harry Fieldhouse. Again, thank you everyone for joining. Those of you who are watching on Twitter, keep in mind you can click on the link, go over to the YouTube channel. You can participate in the comments section. Always a bit of banter and always a bit of of fun with everybody there on all of our shows, but especially on this one when we get the guys over from Sunderland. So that's always a blast. So, gentlemen, thank you for making this easy on me. Baz is. I'm sorry. Which finger was that, Stu? I just had to make sure. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you all soon again. And then, Malta will definitely be looking forward to getting together when I come over in February. I'll be in obviously in Newcastle between the Man U and Sunderland matches. So I've got a couple of weeks there where the dinners or something would be in order. So remember. Gary Baz says, remember, it costs nothing to subscribe if you are watching on Twitter. So, you can come over and watch us. If you're on Twitter, seeing this for the first time, come on over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. It costs you nothing. You can become a member for as little as 99p a month. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. And as always, away the lads for us and highway the lads for you guys. So good to see you.
Away the lads. FTL.
All right, folks. Thanks, everybody. Good night, all.
Cheers, all.